Welcome back to our IT Jams. In this session, we're speaking with Access4, a company founded in 2016 with a single goal in mind, which is to help managed service providers leverage the benefits of unified communications. The company offers contact center, hosted voice, Microsoft Teams, and many other services and solutions. So let's turn it over to Access4 Managing Director, Tim Jackson, to find out more. Welcome, Tim.
Welcome, thanks for having me.
Okay, so let's get stuck into the first question, which is for anybody who hasn't worked with Access4 before, what are your key offerings?
Yeah, so Access4 is a cloud communications provider. We were built on the proviso that we wanted to support MSPs in the market to offer cloud voice, UC, and contact center solutions. Our vision is really to be the ICT industry partner of choice for the communication sector. And what does that mean? That means that we're channel only. So we sell through MSPs, which we feel are the trusted advisors to businesses. And that then offers a range of solutions for those MSPs, whether it be SIP connectivity, hosted PBX, UC solutions such as the Teams and Webex sort of offerings. And we've expanded it out to have sort of omnichannel contact center solutions. So in 2015, we saw a really big gap in the market around MSPs wanting to offer voice, and it was extremely complex. It was expensive. So we set about trying to build our own proprietary platform to really solve those challenges for MSPs, and that was that they could offer a recurring revenue, but not at a huge cost, to make sure that their customers were looked after and they could fully service their customers. So they were used to doing data and IT related things, but voice was the part they couldn't get across. So yeah, so we built the platform with SaaS Boss being our proprietary front end CPaaS, and that really looked to resolve those challenges. And we think we've done pretty well in the last 5 or 6 years, and we're continuing to grow. So yeah.
Brilliant. So let's talk about your most recent innovations and improvements in your services.
Yeah, so we focus a lot on what partners and customers want in the SMB, and obviously modern workplace has now come into that since the pandemic. But we continue to innovate with best of breed. So we bring in the likes of a Microsoft Teams and a Webex, but just don't resell that service. We put a lot of framework around how that's provisioned, a lot of add-ons, and make that a more usable and better customer experience for not only the end customer, but the partner as well. That's where we probably differentiate ourselves from a lot of other providers in the market. It's not just about taking an off-the-shelf product and reselling it. So yeah, and I would argue that, in the last 5 years, we've really looked at solving industry issues, and they're things to do with porting, billing, toll fraud, all the things that scare people about voice and UC. And then really take that to another level. So one of the things we did across a lot of our products was figure out how we could have hybrid solutions. So a customer may want Microsoft Teams in the boardroom, but they want Zoom phone on the desk or WebEx on the desk. And we allow customers to mix and match and have hybrid environments, which is pretty unique. And that sort of shows that we add a lot more value than just a normal telco or reseller. And then I think, moving forward in terms of innovation, we're still looking at how we can bring a new exciting range of tools to MSPs and customers. And that's all around being able to visualize things and bring that human element back to it, rather than having menu-driven environments where people have to have a really good understanding. We want to bring that into a visual, and you can drag and drop and be able to do that across not only provisioning, but support and the sales and quoting process as well. So that's where we're really trying to innovate. And then probably the last one's really around BI, being able to provide customers and partners access to information so they can make informed decisions around their UC or collaboration environments.
Excellent. So you've talked a little bit about what you're doing at the moment, but what trends are your teams really laser focused on next? Yeah,
look, we try and think of ourselves as a consultative vendor. We go back to our partners consistently and understand what they see in the market in addition to what we see. And we really engage with them in testing and the hypothesis around before we go and build stuff. So I think, everyone's talking about the modern workplace because it's drastically changed over the last 2 years. But that's not just collaboration for us. So we look at modern workplace and say there's elements to that, and that could be security, could be device as a service. Collaboration is obviously a key part, and we try and focus on the collaboration and contact center side of that. So we stick to what we do best and leave device as a service and security to other vendors. And I think 2 years ago, we saw this coming. I think COVID brought it forward, but we really looked into a couple of key areas, and we continue to be focused on that. So one is best of breed vendors. We don't try and build products that vendors have already built, but what we do is try and integrate those and make them seamless and easy to consume. And the second area we're probably really focused on is advancing how do we make MSPs successful. So MSPs, they run small, medium and large enterprises, but they want to focus on looking after their customer, not necessarily building solutions. So we're really fixated on building those solutions, innovating, and making sure that makes their life easier. If we're going to be more successful because our partners are more successful. So that's probably the two real key areas. And it comes back to making sure that partners can provide that modern workplace collaboration experience for their customers in what's been a pretty turbulent couple of years.
So let's talk about your infrastructure and resources in Australia and New Zealand. Can you talk us through those?
Yeah, so we've invested heavily across ANZ, and that comes from not only the tech stack and data center and providing geo redundancy across the area, but we also look at other areas that we can invest in, and we continue to invest heavily in our partner program. We're really proud of our partner program. Pete Eldon recently came on as sales and marketing director, and some really great ideas how to drive that component of the business. So some really exciting things coming up for our partner community. We continue to invest in our distributors. We have some really great distributors that resell our products, being Ripe, ASX listed business, Ingram Micro, a global business, and local businesses like Comms Plus. So we work heavily with their teams to make sure that we can get our products to market and make sure people know about us. And I think for us around the continued innovations around the product stuff too. So investment in product and development, and we've committed in our last strategy to reinvest 7 to 10% of our revenue back into R&D and invest back into those best of breed products and tools that will, hopefully make us the vendor of choice for MSPs out there.
Brilliant. So if somebody watching this video or reading our story wanted to engage with Access4, what is the best way that they can do so?
Yeah, so if there's MSPs out there or partners, service providers, they can come to our website. There's a huge amount of information there around why we think our channel program is great and really spells out the benefits. So they can come through that and register, and we do a lot of acquisition into both direct and through our distributors. If it's an end customer looking for a better collaboration or UC experience and they don't have a connection to a current partner, absolutely they can log into our website and put their interest in there, and we'll match them up with a partner that is both probably geographically and vertically integrated for their line of business.
Thank you. So that concludes another Tech Day 10-minute IT Jam with Access4's Managing Director, Tim Jackson. Thank you so much for talking to us, Tim.
Thanks, Sarah.